I haven't slept in 25 hours, but I thought it was appropriate to do.
You haven't slept in 25 hours?
Sometimes that doesn't work out. But sometimes it does. You know, North Korea did a great thing by going to the Olympics, because the Olympics, and President Moon will tell you this, the Olympics was not exactly doing great. People didn't feel like being bombed out of the opening ceremonies. You know, they weren't exactly selling tickets. I told him, you may not want this. You may want to do a much smaller version of this. I mean, you're going to do something, but you may want to do a smaller version. You may not want that with the trains and the everything, you know, super, everything the top. And maybe you won't want that. It's going to be up to them. It's going to be up to them. It's going to be up to the people what they want. They may not want that. I can understand that too.
I'm sorry, I'm not sure if I understand you.
But that was a version of what could happen, what could take place. As an example, they have great beaches. You see that whenever they're exploding their cannons into the ocean, right? So I said, boy, look at that. Wouldn't that make a great condo behind? And I explained, I said, you know, instead of doing that, you could have the best hotels in the world right there.
True.
Think of it from a real estate perspective. You have South Korea, you have China, and they own the land in the middle. How bad is that, right?
Right, bad.
It's great.
Right, great.
But I told them, I said, you may not want to do what's there. You may want to do a smaller version of it. Or
smaller.
You know, and that could be. I mean, I've read horror stories. It's a 15-year process, okay? Assuming you wanted to do it quickly, I don't believe that. I think whoever wrote that is wrong. But there will be a point at which, when you're 20% through, you can't go back.
Can't go back.
Seoul has 28 million people. We think we have big cities. You look at New York, where it has 8 million people. We think it's a big city. Seoul has 28 million people. Think of that. And it's right next to the border. It's right next to the DMZ. It's right there.
It is.
I mean, if this would have happened, I think, you know, I've heard, 100,000 people. I think you could have lost 20 million people, 30 million people.
Sure.
This is really an honor for me to be doing this, because I think, you know, potentially you could have lost, 30, 40, 50 million people. The city of Seoul, one of the biggest cities in the world, is right next to the border.
I'm just going to close my eyes.
This wasn't like we went and we started talking about, as you know, right? We didn't just come in and start talking about these very complex subjects that have been going on for 70 years. We've been discussing this for months. And, once the rhetoric stopped, once they did a great thing, and as soon as the Chairman Kim, said, let's participate in the Olympics, it sold like wildfire and was a great success as an Olympics. It was a great success.